Up? What up? What up with you, dude? What up with you? Yo, it is Mun Talk. It's Monday morning, and I've been trying to flip through all my subscribers' messages and other people who just been posting messages. It's just a bevy of information coming through. But one of the things I am stuck on is, of course, what Vegas is going to do. Now, this is interesting because and let me clarify something because somebody said, something about me in my last video, how I don't watch the game. So I have no validity when I take a pick. Look, if that's what you think, that's fine. I'm not an aficionado of the NFL. Like opinions like that really don't matter to me because for one, you don't go back and look at my other videos and so on and so forth. Like, if you don't want to listen to me, go with God, man. Like, have fun. I'm okay with that. Okay, so anyway, so Vegas is one thing you guys are always chatting about, the odds on Vegas. Now, being that I don't watch the games, I only watch the highlights, so I can go ahead and regurgitate some information, you guys, and then give you my opinion on that information. A lot of you guys say, hey, people make money when they bet against Vegas or something like that. I'm not really sure how it goes. You guys who watch the games have a real intricate system. It's like when Vegas has the Eagles, then you bet against what Vegas has because you're saying it's fixed. Vegas is fixing the game, or you go with the bet for the. So I'm not sure what it is. One of you guys are gonna have to clear that up. Oh, so John, clear that up for me, or Donald, or Sanchez. Uh, you know, one of you guys clear that up for me because I'm not sure how that goes because I don't bet. This is another reason why I'm making this video because somebody said, Tone, why don't you go ahead and bet on the Pats? I don't bet on any game. I don't put money on any game. If I did, I'd be a rich man by now. I don't bet on none of the games, guys. I just throw this information out there. If you guys bet on what I say, that's completely up to you. But I don't bet on none of the games. I don't get into that. I just leave all that alone. But let's just listen to what some of Vegas has to say. And let's see who this is right here. I'm going to show you guys. This is what I'm looking at right now. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I'm going to listen to some of what they say. Super Bowl 2018 odds update. Patriots money line reaches lowest number yet. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the money line means. So
Super Bowl 52 pick. The Patriots are favored by 4.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Todd Furman, take your pick.
Well, Adam, you've given up the suspense on who your pick's going to be. You said the final score is going to be 26-23. So, math wizards out there go 1, 2, 3. All right, 4.5. We know who you're going with. I'm going to try and go the other way with New England here. I think this is an excellent opportunity to buy low on the Patriots with a number that's been suppressed given the results we saw last weekend. New England needed late heroics to get through that Jacksonville defense. Philadelphia went up and down the field against the Vikings, rattling off 38 straight points. But ultimately, I think New England's going to find a way to confuse Nick Foles. They're going to spend 2 weeks preparing for the RPO. They've seen Jay Ajayi before. And Tom Brady, much like we've seen in the past, raises his game to what's at stake here. This is a legacy-type opportunity. And at 6.5, I would have been on the Eagles making a case for them. But as his numbers come down, I think the value play becomes the Patriots. But just to back that up, because I think this game could be tight throughout, would also explore a money line angle as that price comes down as well.
Yeah, I gave it.
okay, so they're still going with the Patriots. I'm not sure what the whole money line thing is. This is I'm a neophyte when it comes to this here. I've never even paid it any attention, but I played that information, that excerpt, because I know you guys pay attention to this. So some of you guys can come on my channel and please explain this to me as brief as possible. If you give me a whole dissertation, I'm not going to be able to respond to it with a whole dissertation. I'm just going to be like, okay, fine. You're not going to get much out of me. But if you give me like 2 or 3 sentences, then I might be able to look some of this up, and we can go with that conversation. I can feed that back to you and just pretty much tell you what I think about it. But nonetheless, listen, I do think Vegas fixed. Well, I know that they fixed the game. It's been. I mean, we have proof that Vegas was fixing the games back in the 70s and 80s. We already know that. We already know that bookies and all that were talking to the players, which is illegal. And one of them had caught, and somebody said it was Joe Namath or it was Joe Montana. It was one of the Joes, Broadway Joe, whoever that was. But he was caught having dinner with one of the bookies. That's illegal. You can't do that. But they were fixing the games, so that's where I get the NBA and the NFL, the MLB is fixed. Plus, when I start watching it, I was able to tell who was going to win. And I was like, well, this is all fixed. Or I was able to tell what was going to happen. And this season, I got into it a little more, and I just saw the whole thing just scripted out, how players just got hurt. And that's when I started making videos in the beginning of the season. And I told you guys Patriots are going to win. And I'm not bragging, Sanchez. If you don't pay no mind to that at the beginning, at the end of last season, at the Super Bowl last season, and then go through my videos leading all the way up to now, I told you who was going to get hurt. And I was like, this person's gonna get hurt. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. So it's a script, and you have to follow the script. You have to look at it and go, this is gonna happen here. You look at who's a threat to the possible winners. And some people said, oh, you think it's fixed for Tom Brady and the Pats? I do not think it's just fixed for them. I think it's fixed, period. And somebody else said all sports are fixed. I believe that, not unless you go back to like eighth grade badminton or something like that. I believe that 100%. Okay, high school. High school ball, I think that's where I don't think it's fixed. I think it's set up. It's different. I think some teams are set up to win because they just have better players. Kids migrate to those schools. You find a lot of these professional football players went to some of those schools where they actually transferred schools because that school had a better program. So that's just already set up. You're just going to trounce another team. And that happened to us in the eighth grade. We got smashed by a team, and once I went a grade up, we ended up smashing a team. We just crushed them so bad that our third stringers were getting in there and running all over them. You know what I mean? So we've seen that lopsidedness before, but it wasn't like the coaches fixed the game. It's just that we had better players or we didn't have as good as players. So high school ball all the way up to there, I think it's like that. But when you get into, you know, when you get into college ball, you're starting like somebody was talking about the Alabama game and talking about how it was fixed. I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch the dogs beat, roll tide. I didn't watch none of it. And somebody said that was one of the most fixed games ever in history. I didn't watch it because Alabama usually wins. You know what I mean? And then what really pisses me off is like one time Ohio State went undefeated and Alabama lost one, and Alabama was still the freaking champions over. They were ranked number 1 over Ohio State, and I was like, wait, what? How does that go? So I was like, I'm like, I don't know what conferences do what, but it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. So I'm like, I'm not really with it. And for another person who commented on my validity again, talking about I got my bell rung when I was a kid, I was ringing bells and getting those injuries. Okay, I was spearheading people. I was knocking people down. I need to show you guys some of my old clips if I can find them. I was hitting people and getting hurt. All right, so let's get this straight. I wasn't no, some dude just getting knocked down. As a matter of fact, I barely did get knocked down. I was